not just one for the facility, but one for the artist slash facilitator that'll be doing these certain actions. So really, it will be for both body modification and tattoo application. So really, this goes without saying, not just tattoo parlors, but for piercing parlors as well as esthetician, like they do eyelash extensions.
Yep. And so this just added, originally it didn't have any permit or fee associated with
At the
it.
time.
Yep. So now that's amended to include that in the ordinance.
Yep.
Any questions?
I have none.
Okay. Do we have
Good.
it?
Motion to approve the fee structure for the Board of Health
Okay.
tattooing.
Motion carries 3-0. Good to go, Nash.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yep. All right, next item is we have two pay apps, Envoy pay apps. The first one is for the courthouse, $534,670.21. Puts that project roughly at 64%. And then the next one is for the annex, and it's $454,290.41. Motion to approve the pay apps.
Motion to approve both.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 on those as well. Okay, new business. We have one item, and it's a little maybe more broad than it's listed here, but a conflict of interest for Ryan West. Saw Ryan here. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good. So Ryan works for the sheriff's office, but also works for Tip of the Spear LLC, which could potentially be a contractor for emergency vehicle upfitting is one option.
Yes, sir.
As well as, I'll call it disposal of emergency vehicles through auctions.
Yes, sir.
Sphere does that. So this is his conflict of interest that we would need to approve. So any questions for him?
I have really no questions, and I think that, there's not much of a conflict there, to be honest, but at the same time, I'd make the motion that we accept his application for conflict of interest.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. And then, do you want to go into the second part, which you had sent us an email?
Yes, sir.
About potential auction and getting rid of some vehicles, so I'll
Yeah.
give it to you now.
Yes, sir. So speaking with Mike Alsop, who owns Tip of the Spear, he got me involved with the auction down in Indianapolis. Long story short, they've kind of pulled me aside knowing what I do as far as the vehicles, and they said they have, and I don't know the frequency of these auctions, but we have one coming up next Thursday, and it's municipalities only. So if we have fully functioning police vehicles, fully functioning fire trucks, ambulance, we will take them, we'll clean them up the best we can, lipstick on a pig, if you will. We'll take them down to Indianapolis, and it's an online auction that goes across the country. So instead of getting normal bids that we do for some of the vehicles that we get rid of in the county, we can put up a price. This ambulance, we'd like to get, say, $35,000 out of an ambulance. We'll say that is our lowest. They'll run it through across the country. Anybody can bid on it that's another agency. And if they come back and say I've got an agency offering $33,000, what do you think? We still want 35. They'll continue going and going back and forth until we get what we need, or we get as close to what we need. Some of the other vehicles we look at that are police vehicles or fire trucks, whatever the case may be, that are not functioning anymore, we'll bring them back. We'll take all the decals off. We'll take all the lights off, the sirens. It'll go through the auctions that happen every Thursday down there at the auction. So something we may get an offer for, a $2,000 offer for the car at the auction. You're going to have all the used car dealers down there bidding to try to get this because it's an old police car and they think that's cool. So they'll take it and they'll buy it for maybe more than we'll get in a bid, and they'll sell it on their lot for a little bit more for somebody that likes to say that they're a cop or something. So for us, we'll charge $500 per vehicle. That is us cleaning the car up. That is us getting it transported down there to it. For the auction, they have different prices for different amounts that the car sells for. I believe, and I don't have it in front of me, if it sells for maybe under $1,000, it may be a $30 fee. All the way up to anything over $27,000, I think it's $395 is the seller's fee. So $395 plus the 500, and then whatever that comes out after the sale, you guys either get a check for the remainder of the price, or you can put it with us into an account that will have accruing interest, and we'll either use that for an upfit for a vehicle that you wish, or we can use it towards, or save it in there and use it for a purchase of a vehicle to upfit. Whatever the county wants to do easily.
Any questions?
Those that don't run, how do you get those down there?
Trailer. I went to the auction a couple weeks ago, and those that don't run
Yeah.
are kind of pushed or pulled through, and you'll see people bidding on them all day long. There's a lot of criminals down there, to be honest with you, so I had to turn my eye, but money's green.
So, I thought he might be here today. Stephen at EMS has 2 ambulances
Yeah.
that we've looked into disposing, and Tom and I have worked on a few of these, and it just internally it encompasses a lot for us to do it, and so for basically $500 to get them cleaned up, handle
Yeah,
all
they're,
of it seems
yeah,
like
stripped out.
something we should at least pursue
Yeah.
at this moment, and then kind of see how it goes. So I know there's, like I said, 2 ambulances. We're working with Sean and
Yeah.
Sheriff's Office. They got a few vehicles, so
I-
I think you're looking at a max per vehicle of $895 in total cost if it sells for over 27,000. So it seems like
Yeah.
it's
Less the
worth an option.
frustration.
Yeah, and it's less we have to do, and,
Yeah.
and they're taking on that
Win-win.
onus. So I guess I would look for, if there's no other
As
questions.
is, no more, you know.
Yes, sir.
Just-
If we have to push, pull, or drag, it'll go across that line.
And then you'll continue to speak to us afterwards then, after you've drug it down there and so forth.
Yes, sir. You guys will know what the cars went for, and obviously, if there's other things, it kind of goes both ways. If there's things that you guys are looking for, we can obviously look at the auction and try to see if there's something out there and bid, and try to get other things as well.
I'll make the motion, we move forward and give it a try.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. We'll be in touch. We'll start out definitely with the 2 ambulances.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll get with Sean and see if there's a couple others
Will do.
for
Thank
next
you.
week. Yep, thanks. Okay, department heads. Have any department heads that'd like to go? All right. Morning.
Good morning.
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 Just wanted to give you some updates on what's happening over here at the jail. We have a block wall in the jail kitchen that's going to need repair to replace. It's starting to deteriorate on the bottom of the blocks. So we're going to start getting some quotes on that. All the air returns have been replaced in the HVAC system. And as far as some jail inspections, the cooler set to repair includes the floor, the ramp, the threshold. They will provide a refrigeration trailer for us, and it should take about 4 weeks. The security animation system is going to be here today to start the control panel. And there have been replacements have been made to the hot water pumps to the boilers. And we're also replacing 5 to 10 windows in the pods. That's going to start sometime this week or next week. One last thing, Sheriff wants to start the process to retire Chase Miller's canine Lambo, which is in the jail. He's the jail dog that just does it due to age, coming up to about 7 years now.
Okay.
And the dog's kind of slowing down, so he'll have some paperwork for you at the next meeting,
All right.
so.
Any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Anyone else?
First off, I'll formally introduce myself. I'm your new chief of probation, Matthew Risk. I have a hot water heater that I called Jerry on yesterday that I think is done with life. It's a little one between 2 bathrooms. Todd from maintenance was over and looked at it and informed us that a plumber would be in Thursday
Okay.
to really give it an inspection and see what's going on with it. It could be full settlement, and maybe it just needs that drained. I'm not really mechanically minded, but
Yeah.
so I just wanted, what he said reminded me, give you a heads up on
Okay.
that.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
So,
Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Weaver.
I don't know, maybe Brett wants to report just a little bit, but I've been meeting with the moving group and anticipation of moving to the new location. And everybody is working very well with each other. Every department head has been involved and involved. And there's been a lot of good conversation. And Brett, I don't know if you want to fill in any more than that, but I think it's moving very slow, or very well. You know, it's kind of, it flows with the, with the contractors, you know. So everybody was taking bids. Initially, you know, it was going to be May 22nd, and now, you know, everybody took bids against that. So now I believe it's moved back just a little bit, but it's going well. So people are pretty much on board and starting to have their jobs kind of filled out. So I think it's working okay so far. It'll still be a mess when it happens, so. Now, Brett?
I couldn't agree more. We're all working really well together. It's a huge undertaking to think of that we're moving out of this building. So we have just decided to form our own little committee, I guess you'd say, of the elected officials in the building and talk through how we thought we needed to handle moving and doing it a few offices at a time, getting with IT, getting with, you know, moving, trying to figure out how all of it's going to work, but it's all going really well. And yes, it's a moving target, but we're adjusting.
Good. That's all.
Okay.
No.
Nothing? Neither do I today. We'll move on to claims. April 17th in the amount of $43,607.05. April 25th in the amount of $21,929.43. May 2nd in the amount of $26,883.96. May 6th in the amount of $416,093.76. And a court claim from April 17th in the amount of $11,907.53.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 on claims. Next, we have payroll from April 4th in the amount of $596,168.89. Payroll from April 18th in the amount of $601,059.48. And a Board of Health payroll from April 18th in the amount of $1,208.76.
Yeah,
Move.
motion. Second.
Motion second.
Yeah.
Motion carries 3-0 to approve payroll. We have minutes from our regular meeting on April 15th, and then executive session minutes dated April 21st. I'll probably do it too, since I wasn't at the executive session, so we have a motion for the regular minutes on the 15th first.
Moved.
All right.
Second.
Second, motion carries 3-0, and then motion for the executive session on the 21st.
So moved.
Yeah, second.
All right, motion carries 2-0. I'll abstain from that one. Our next meeting is May 20th. Anything else to come before us? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you.